この俺が人間なんだ。
Alright, so in this one, we're going to be going over the updated GamePress tier list. They have changed up a few things. I've seen some moves and ups and downs of some units. I've seen some high placements of some new units. And we got some updates to go over here. But let's read what they say prior to going over it, right? So GamePress tier list update. LOE goes up all around with Revival Frieza / Full Power Frieza LF being excellent, and Shield / LF Frieza being similarly good for the support spot. And then they also said, also want to clarify something. Stars are not specified on LFs anymore. That's because things got more vague with the varying Z power banners, so it's not worth to rank them by specific star amount anymore. As a result, they're just ranked based on overall PvP feel. Hi. Yeah, that's me, the guy that said they should be ranked not specific to, 7 stars for 3-year-old LFs. Thank you! Appreciate you! Unfortunately, until, tag me in that, but because I'm pretty sure it's my idea, but, thank you! I'm glad it changed. Appreciate you. Now, let's look. Let's see where they have Revival Frieza, Kaioken Goku, Shield Zenkai. Shield Zenkai was very high when he came out for one day, and the others, right? So let's just scroll down. Interesting, okay. So what are the stars here? All right, LF's different than everything else, and it doesn't show me stars. So I'm assuming 9 stars for the new All-Star units, right? And then the stuff, all right. It's all PvP feel. Okay, understood. Z tier. I agree. While I still think Ultra Gogeta is still his own tier, doesn't really matter that much. This is still fine. Can I disagree with one unit? Yes, I would say, oh, okay, well, I disagree with that ad. I disagree with Sword Hope Trunks being Z tier. I do not think he is Z tier worthy, and if he is Z tier worthy, I think Super Vegito on top of Future Gohan is also Z tier worthy. That's just how I see it. I think Super Vegito is better because of the teams. Future is an inferior team to Super Saiyans, to Fusions, and to Mono Purple, right? It's inferior to all 3 of those teams. So with that, Super Vegito's teams alone carries him, and I think Super Vegito alone is better than Sword Hope Trunks, just straight up how it is, especially with the boost about to end here. Sword Hope Trunks should quite easily be below Super Vegito because, I mean, Super Vegito's getting, what, 6 or 7% because he's Zenkai'd, and he doesn't get that much boost, while Trunks is getting, like, 20% pure defense, is 15% pure damage, right? So, while Sword Hope Trunks you can disagree with and lower him down, and up the other 2, Future Gohan and Super Vegito, the other 3, it's pretty easy, yeah. You can even argue that Gogeta 4 is above Goku Vegeta at some circumstances, but it's so interchangeable that it doesn't really matter. Again, Ultra Gogeta should be his own tier, but yeah, no big disagreements here that I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. No, okay, it's good enough. I mean, you could change Trunks, but it's still how high S tier he will be. It's almost Z tier, but again, I would still change Super Vegito and Future Gohan to be above Sword Hope Trunks. That's just how I see it. Then S tier. Alright. So Super Vegito, Future Gohan, Full Power Frieza. Okay. Revival Frieza as what? What? That's 4, 5, 6, 7. He is the 8th best unit in the game. Revival Frieza at 9 stars. I have him 9 stars, by the way. I used them that whole 1-hour PvP video, so I think I have some decent experience to where I can, really apply what I'm thinking about him. Is he the 8th best unit in the game? No, I'm confused where a lot of units that are very good are. For one, I think Zamasu Goku Black are better than Revival Frieza. Anyone down here, I would say Bardock is quite quintessentially the main unit of a team to where he is probably the number 1 of S tier. If not Z tier, sure, why not? S tier. He is, I mean, he's not even a bad unit individually. On top of, he leads probably the best team in the game. It's really just that simple. I can name a couple units above this Frieza. I would say Maju is above this Frieza. I would say Bardock is above this Frieza. I would say Evolution Blue probably is above this Frieza. While Frieza is good because LOE is in a better spot now, it doesn't mean that this Frieza is the end-all be-all and such a top 8 unit in the game. I personally just don't see it. He can do good blast damage for sure. He has good catching abilities, which when I call that, I say like, okay, his green card can catch them long range. His green card post, Revival catch them long range. He can catch them long range with the blue card, right? He has good catching abilities, which is basically just, you know, catching the mid-side step. But I don't see the insane value of him, because you have quite literally the counter to him, Gogeta 4. And Gogeta 4 does, I mean, remove 4 balls. Well, sorry. Gain 4 balls. And that just allows you to double rush. So this Frieza is in a similar spot to me, at least for Revival Gohan, to where, yes, they might be actually decent, but even with their decency, there's just so much going on around them, because look right above. There's 3 units, given Trunks isn't the craziest anti-revival, but there's 3 units that have an anti-revival mechanic. With Goku Vegeta, you're losing your rush. With Gogeta 4, you're giving them a second rush, and, I mean, Goku Vegeta, you're still giving them a second rush, it's just a little bit slower than Gogeta 4. And then Trunks can still fuck over your HP restore that you get on your revival. Frieza, maybe a top 20 unit. Maybe. Meaning he would probably be at tier 1. Wow, okay. Interesting. I would say he's probably bottom S tier on like my own tier list if I made one. But he does good stuff, for sure. He helps LOE. He is a core member of LOE. Yeah, I would say Full Power Frieza, Podza, and LF Full Power Frieza. And yeah, Rival Frieza is probably the core, right? There are some matches if you're up against like blue, purple Super Saiyans, you might bring Chill instead, but that's more situational, right? Like the main team you're gonna bring is gonna be Revival Frieza as that 3rd unit, right? He's very good, but as a top 8 unit in the game, I can strongly disagree and be very confident in that disagreement. I'm so confused. Where is Majub? Okay, let's keep going. Tomasi Goku Black. Very good tanks. For now, I say they deserve the spot. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe because of just Future not being the greatest right now. They're a little bit lower than just every other meta team, like LOE. Barely, but they will fall off after the boost ends. But right now, with the boost, they're still very godly tanks and very annoying to deal with. Otherworld Goku, I'm not sure his value. I understand he has death buffs. I understand he can do okay damage while he's alive. And I understand he can do some stuff around that. But I mean, that's calling him a top 10 unit in the game. Would I refer to Otherworld Goku as a top 10 unit in the game? No. I could say maybe top 30, maybe. You have Future Gohan, and with Future Gohan existing, this Goku has, I mean, no significance, right? If you want to run this Goku, doesn't he give death buffs to movies and or Sun Family or something like that? Well, Sun Family, no one's running Sun Family, okay? Next team, movies. No one's running movies, so it's like his main premise of his death buffs aren't even being fully applied because no one's running those teams and it can't actually work out. So while he can do okay damage and be a Rising Rush sponge, I mean, so can Revival Gohan, so can Majub. So with them being Rising Rush sponges, can't they be higher if that's like the main premise behind them? Because I can't really figure out a reason why he would be this high. It's just not much going on for him besides being a sponge. And I mean, any unit can be a sponge, and his sponging doesn't even create that much value. Because like Super Vegeta sponging, he's getting support for his allies, right? Because they're doing cards, and when the enemy does cards, Super Vegeta is building up support for himself and others on a team that's unconditional. While this Goku, okay, here's your death buffs for these 2 tags, and it's like, is that even comparable? But they're in the same tier and not even that far apart, but yet they seem as comparable. I don't agree with that. Zenkai Frieza to Chilled. Now, I've said this a couple of times here, and I think it stands true. Chilled, for most people, is going to be higher stars than your Zenkai Frieza, just because, well, Chilled is old as fuck. So, Chilled at 14 stars compared to, like, a Zenkai Frieza that's maybe 7 or 8, I would say Chilled is better. Now, if you're comparing a high star First Form Frieza, which, I mean, I could say, because I have, like, a 12 star, I would say he is better. So, in most case scenarios, if you're just a normal player, you have a 14 star Chilled, 11, 12, 13 star Chilled, you'll probably have, like, a 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, maybe pushing it 9 star Zenkai Frieza, and easily there, Chilled is better, just because that anti-DBL0704S, Mr. Bardock right below him, can get fucked over with his entire team getting fucked over because Mr. Bardock came into a fight, right? By the way, Bardock should not be this low. Just saying. I know he's countered out, but I'll get to him when I get to him, right? Revival Gohan, below, or above Bardock rather, is unique for sure. I hard disagree, but He can do some work. He can. It's just, again, you look at all the anti-revival above him. I mean, you even look at the yellows above him. There's 1, 2, 3, and then, I mean, Gogeta just goes neutral, so, I mean, you could call him a yellow because every single time you ever face off with Gogeta 4 to Revival Gohan, you're going to pop that main, go neutral, throw the ultimate. Hey, look, I got my second rush. If not throw the ultimate, throw the rush to get a second rush, and then you pop the ultimate later. Hey, look, this Gohan's going to have to take a type neutral ultimate from Gogeta 4, who's always peeked out with Super Vegeta support because he's got his ass beat a little bit there. You're dead. Revival Gohan, he was a menace. He was crazy. He's still able to be crazy. It's just his opportunity to be that wild fucking boar has fallen off to a big extent. It's still there. He can still do it, but it's just, it's not as devastating as anywhere near it was a couple months ago, which is good, right? This unit should have aged out. Hybrids were good for very long, and, you know, we need some diversity, but it... You know how it is right now. It's just, it's attempting to be diversity, but it might falter a little bit. But to continue, Bardock, the bottom of S tier. Now I could say Bardock is a top 10 unit without much doubt. Bardock leads with the, you know, I'm just thinking about this logically. He leads with this guy, who is the number 1 of S, so that'd be a top 5 unit, and the number 1 unit in the game. So how is Bardock that low with his team being that high? That means his value individually is not that good, but I don't agree with that. Bardock could heal on green card. Bardock could get a double card draw speed. You get a double advantage basically if you just have the ultimate in hand. He has decent damage inflicted, pretty good damage inflicted honestly, later on in the fight because your allies are getting their ass beat. Bardock's building up while his allies get his ass beat. So he has decent damage inflicted on top of support from Super Vegito, and he quite literally just exemplifies both these fusions. How is Bardock so low? Is it because of Chilled? I could agree, but in the consistency of PvP and the consistency, I just fought an hour of PvP with LOE, I saw 3 LOE teams, right? So I did probably 15 to 18 matches, I saw 3 LOE teams. With that logic, you would think, okay, well Chilled is not that, you know, seen, so the opportunity for Chilled to fuck over Bardock is not really there, right? But yeah, Bardock is so low. Bardock is easily above Revival Frieza. I could even throw Bardock above LF Full Power Frieza over there and not really have much issues with that. Bardock leads with the best units that are Super Saiyans in the game, and they quite literally are just top 5 and number 1 unit. I don't think there's a way to really discredit that. The Super Saiyan team has not fallen because of Chilled. It's taken a hit, for sure it's taken a big hit, and if you run up against a Chilled and you're using Super Saiyans, you're gonna have an issue. Like, that's just true. Like, I did it. I made that issue happen in the video, right? But, does that mean the whole team's dead? You countered out 1 unit. Does that mean Bardock is fully dead? It doesn't. Like, the Super Saiyans around him can still do their crazy work. If anything, when I've run Super Saiyans, and I fought against LOE, which is like 3 times this season, Chilled was actually always the last one alive. It was usually Podza, Full Power Frieza, and then Chilled. And then everyone else would just die so quickly, where it's like 3 cards. Okay, well here I am just fucking nuking this team, and then it's Chilled last alive. It's like, wait, Chilled's the last one? He's supposed to be the first one dead. Which, I mean, that happens quite often when I ran with Super Saiyans, right? And that's the team it's meant to counter out, because, you know, that damage inflicted and everything else. But Bardock should still be up there. I don't think Chilled has killed Bardock. I think Chilled has hurt him, but LOE not being such a used tag, it's just not in the cards for Bardock to really fall off that down to where he's below Revival Gohan, Chilled, and Zenkai Frieza. To me, at least. Tier 1. Green Podza. Okay, how is Majub in Tier 1? These explanations, by the way, I'm pretty sure they're not updated, so that's why I'm not clicking them. Even if I did, it still probably wouldn't explain to me how they're in Tier 1. Green Podza. Oh, good. FSK is still up there, huh? Interesting. Majub should be S tier. Majub should probably be like where Deku is, quite honestly. Honestly higher, above Zamasu Black, because Fusions is probably like a top 3 team, while Future is like top 7 maybe. So, just compare the teams. It's not even debate. Full Power Frieza, Tier 1. Could you up him a little bit? Maybe. You could. For sure. Maybe the bottom of S if you want to be like super, super nice. if I were to debate who's better, Podza or Full Power Frieza Zenkai, in this meta where you could probably just bring LF Full Power Frieza, because the Zenkai is just an inferior version to the LF, I would say Podza's better, which, yeah, you could probably put them both in low S, I'd be happy with it. Majub should be high S, so I'd probably put like these top 3 in S tier and be happy with that. But Full Power Frieza, the Zenkai, he's very tanky. It's very nice, it's just that his damage does lack a lot, right? It's the same thing as when he came out. He just wants to do the blue cards. If he gets the blue cards done, then you'll see damage. If you don't see the blue cards, you don't see damage. It's just very simple with him. Podza, very good free-to-play unit, though. I'm very happy he came out. He deserves to be this good, truly. FSK... Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 units that are blue. And how many reds are even close to FSK? Omega. Oh, Omega actually moved up. Wow, I'm happy. He should be the #1 red, but okay. FSK cannot do anything, because to get FSK's peak potential, what do you need? A dead ally. And who are your allies on FSK's team? Let's just be simple with it. You have probably not Sword Hope Trunks, because then you don't get the endurance. You have Revival Gohan, Future Gohan. Okay, so who's your damage dealer during that match? FSK, I guess, right? Because, you know, Revival Gohan needs to get going and he needs a revival to really do damage. Future Gohan meant to be built defensively and disrupt and all these things. So FSK. So your FSK is the biggest guy that's going to be out for most of the match, right? Let's say I'm running Super Saiyans. Okay, so I have 2 blues. Is your FSK going to live even 3 hits from an Ultra Gogeta? Let's say he kills my Super Vegeta. Okay, I have 2 allies. Let's say my Ultra Gogeta is coming in. He has someone dead, or he doesn't have someone dead, FSK. You're locked in. You had no key. You just killed somebody. You got no key. Maybe you have your main ability. You pop your main, you're neutral. My Ultra Gogeta still one-combos you with that much issue. I mean, Super Saiyans is a realistic team, and they are lowering the rating of Super Saiyans, but yet Super Saiyans can quite easily just take care of this unit. Let's say Future, Sword of Hope Trunks. Let's say this guy popped his main early, and then, well, he's still neutral, yes. Sword of Hope Trunks got his gauge. Oh, look, all my ki that I had for my main, it's gone. And look, my FSK can't do his nuke. And look, the main thing of FSK is only damage, and he can't do the damage because I just reduced his ki. Another situation. There's a lot of situations like that where you can just kind of get screwed over because the unit is only damage. When you're only damage, you have no utility. Similar to units on this here that are a little bit higher than they should be. I'm looking at one, Android 21 there. All damage does not mean you're actually just that good. For sure, some units are very good because they're all damage. FSK was that. But we've evolved to the game to where good units that are fucking insane are also utility on top of all damage. Look at Ultra Gogeta. He can nullify special cover change on his screen. He has a special cover change on his own. He can have Blast Armor on 3 different arts. He has all these things on top of what he already has, and that's kind of what makes him so broken, right? He has utility on top of all the crazy stuff he can do damage-wise. FSK is half of that, and with being half of that, you should be very low, especially if your color is red, you should be much lower. You should not be in this department. FSK could easily be tier 2, and I would not debate this. FSK is not a tier 1 unit. He has fallen off. Please understand this. Even at higher stars, because this is last time he was rated at 7 stars, he was still up here. So I don't know what that really means. If they're rating him at PvP level stars, I mean, that would probably be like 13, 14, 12 stars, right? When he got moved up then? Look, it's inconsistent how they made this, because he's in the same spot as when he was rated at 7 to where he's rated at now. Doesn't make sense to me. Evolution Blue definitely is above Forku. I agree with that. A little bit slow there, but I mean, you know, he's still good enough. I would say other yellows are actually better than him, but we'll get to them when we get to them. Forku. Who's here? I would say Forku could drop down a little bit. I wouldn't even say a specific spot, honestly, just because I can't really think of where he would be. I think everyone below him is very subpar, below, or besides DKP. I would say Forku is a subpar version of LF Piccolo, So wherever LF Piccolo is, I would say Forku is below that, because Forku just, hey, look, let's have my whole team die. Then I'll be peak damage inflicted. It's not good. It's not very good there. Android 21, again, I think she's a little gassed. While I do think she is better than Cell if she's, 14 stars and Cell is below 7 stars. I mean, personally, after using Cell at 8 stars and using Android 21 at 14, I like Cell's utility more. While I said the same thing for FSK, I'll say the same thing here. If you're just all damage, you really don't have the craziest things going for you, because units that are very good right now have damage with utility. 21 has good damage, for sure. She can do very good damage on her strikes, and that's very nice. But that's all. If you look at her teams, let's say Androids, because it's more strike-based, right? So that's like her main team with 21 and 21. You would think, okay, she has a lot of support, she can do crazy damage, but then where's your utility? Tournament Power 17 is your utility? You're relying on only one unit? Because you look at, I don't know, Super Saiyans, again, very good team. You have 2 utility units. You have Super Vegeta, 1, then you have Ultra Vegeta, 2. You look at Future, you have 2 utility units. You have Zamasu Black with the passive team heal that they can't offer you, or to your ally heal, whatever it's called, that they can't offer, with Future Gohan, Disruption, 2. Then you look at just any other team in that category, they have at least 2 of these crazy Disruption-esque, support-esque type units. Androids will have 1, because you have a support only, that has no utility. You have 1 damage dealer who has no utility. Then you have a okay damage dealer with some utility. It doesn't work. It doesn't flow for what you need, right? You need more utility from 21, which is why I like Cell more. But for this thing's sake, they're probably rating Cell like 6 stars. It's not seen that much, so it's fine. I would still move her down, but you can't move her down anymore because, I mean, there's not much there's not much competition down there. Yellow DKP for sure is above full power Frieza. I don't know why he's so low. He nullifies endurance, so he kind of screws over Majub. But Majub's on such a tanky team to where, that probably won't even happen sometimes, because, again, you have such tanks around him with Gogeta 4 and himself sometimes if you just build him correctly with defensive equips. But DKP can still be a threat. He threatens Future to a full extent because double endurance. He can threaten Super Saiyans because Super Vegito can die very quickly. He's still a very good threat. While he doesn't have the craziest amount of utility behind him, he has enough to where it's kind of warranted to how good he is. Still in Dragon Balls is very nice, and that's all you really need to do, because everyone wants to double rush. Let's stop that by stealing their balls. Green Broly. Okay. Ultra Omega. Does it even matter? He's red. Does it matter? Sure. You could lower him to tier fucking 2. Sure. You could up him to high tier 1. I guess I would say he's above FSK because more utility, and he doesn't rely on the amount of things FSK relies on to really do his crazy damage inflicted or his peak damage inflicted, because he doesn't have that crazy damage inflicted. And he has a little bit more going on for him team-wise because he's on GT, right? And GT is a pretty good team. GT with just, overall GT team with Majub, G4, and himself would be decent enough to run compared to like a hybrid team where it's just kind of all waiting for your peak damage. Well, GT, you would have Gogeta 4 with that peak. You have Disruption, support, all this other tanking with Omega and Majub, right? So I guess that way he'd be better because his team's better. But, on top of his utility, he's better than FSK. Zamasu, too slow. He may be tier 1, sure, but he's too slow. Vegeta, Mono Purple does exist, so he should be a little bit higher. I would say above Green Broly at least, maybe not any more than that. He's not that great individually. He does offer good support for 60 counts, basically. Well, he has that support the entire match, but he really, he pops off with it. He does okay damage. With that support that he can't offer for 60 counts, because, again, he's giving it to himself and allies, right? So, same thing as, Super Vegito, it's just that he's doing the cards, while Super Vegito is the enemy's doing the cards, right? So, he's okay for Mono Purple. He's very good for Mono Purple, honestly, but I do prefer Goku at this point, which I'm pretty sure is tier 2, so okay. LF Piccolo, again, I said Forku should be below LF Piccolo, so, with that, it's pretty simple. Have LF Piccolo go up a little bit, and DKP should have been where Full Power Frieza is, and FSK should be in the fucking dumpster. Then DBS, Android 17 here, should be above 21, maybe below DKP, but above 21 in that regard, because he does have the most utility / okay damage. Not the craziest damage, honestly, but okay damage, but good utility with him, right? Tier 2. Now, let's look here. And I'm going to go over this just barely because, I mean, I see some slander already on my boy Bardock, and I cannot take this to my heart. Tier 2. Goten. I mean, I agree with Tier 2. I just don't agree with the placement. It could probably be lower, like, pretty easily, honestly. He's definitely above Super Saiyan 3 Goku right now, but he'd probably be lower on his own. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, way too high, takes too long. Lower him down. Low Tier 2, if not Tier 3, honestly. Goku should be higher. He has the boost, so he has a lot more defenses. On top of it, he's very tanky. Right now, again, with the boost, and we are factoring it with the boost because it's still active in PvP. And that's what this list is, right? PvP. Goku should be a little bit higher, maybe making it to mid-tier 1. I do think he's better than Vegeta, so I would say he could be about Green Broly level, if not Omega level there. Goku is a okay damage dealer after, you know, a lot of shit's going on, but a lot of shit's always going on in PvP because units do so fucking many cards, right? Kaioken Goku, above Bardock is a good joke, honestly. Yeah, okay, interesting. Woo, above Bardock, ooh, okay. He does more to purples, which, the way it's calculated, actually, it's not that much, different than 8 Vegeta, and 8 Vegeta, as you know, is very good, so it's funny to see Kaioken Goku so above Bardock there. Only 2 spots, but it's still so high to me. Really. Okay, interesting. Birdku. Birdku above Bardock. Interesting. Alright, keep going. Bardock. He's lower than he should be. I don't have the energy to even explain this again because it's just jokes at this point, right? Cell. Okay. Cell should be a lot higher. I said this already. Utility matters more than actual damage. And if you're rating Cell like 7 or above, he's better than 21. Blue 21. Okay. 8 Vegeta. 8 Vegeta above Kid Buu, Fat Buu, God Topo, Namek Goku. 8 Vegeta, huh? A red. I mean, huh. Really? Really? Okay. That's interesting, for sure. Yeah. Again, I don't really have words for it. I just don't get it, so I'm just not even gonna like go into it again. Gogeta Blue. Above Android 18, who is anti-Saiyan while the entire meta is all Saiyans. Besides the 3 LOE matches I had in 18 matches, you know, very good diversity there. And Gogeta Blue's higher than 18, who can peek out much quicker, do her best damage easier, and Gogeta Blue's higher. Alright, cool. Makes sense to me. Kid Buu. Really is below 8 Vegeta, huh? And Gogeta Blue. Okay. Red Bojack above Fat Buu. And God Topo. Yeah, man. Okay. Let's just go through this quickly. I'm just gonna scroll past this stuff because, ooh, okay. Yellow Frieza, very low. He's anti-Saiyan while the entire meta Saiyans, by the way. Don't know how he's lower much than full power Frieza while he actually does damage, but hey, okay, interesting. No utility, I guess, that's why, but, you know, don't think utility makes you a tier fucking 5 unit. Just my thought, though. And to keep going, any other big boys here? Yeah, Joby is pretty bad, you know, I agree. He's really bad. Yeah, Kaba does deserve to be that low. Where's UI Goku? There's UI Goku. And where is, LF Rose didn't make the list? Oh no, my king? LF Rose? Oh, he is, okay, he made the list, I'm sorry. That big anti-endurance does give him insane value above Yellow Frieza. I agree. I agree with that for sure. Okay, man. Yeah, okay. Ooh, well, we get down to tier 2. You find some discrepancies here, huh? Interesting. But yeah, okay. FSK does not belong there. I don't know what FSK they are running into in PvP, but I can't even understand the FSK sucking in this. The LOE sucking is also very strong with, again, 2 LOE units being top 10 when LOE is just an anti-meta team, meaning the meta units are better, but LOE just helps counter out. They don't full counter out, they help counter out. That doesn't mean that they're the best team in the game, or up there with the best teams in the game, as it's stated here, because two of them, the two core members, are in top 10. That doesn't compute. That doesn't mean that. That means, hey, LOE's good because they counter what's the best, but that doesn't make them, okay, here's this new Frieza that's top 10. That doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Because Kaioken Goku, he counters out purples, or he counters out purples, right? So he should be top 15. No, like, the logic behind Rival Frieza being so high, I don't know, because they don't explain it, and, I mean, I can't figure it out. I've used him. He's not a top 10 unit in the game. He's not. Even at 14 stars, he wouldn't be. At 9 stars here, he's not as well. It's just how it is. But let me know what you guys think of this Game Press update. You know, I have some Bardock slander going on here. I have some Cell slander going on here. I don't know if they're not even being tested. I don't know if they even test these other units that they rate so low. They probably don't, because why would you want to use a tier 2 unit? In your mind, at least, tier 2 unit would be silly, you know, to actually test a unit before you rate them. But, I mean, if they are tested, then I'm not sure how their units are not doing as well as mine do, because every single video I've had of Cell, at least, you know, recently, where I've actually run decent equips, and of Bardock, every single video of Bardock after the initial showcase, both have looked like very good units that could easily be at least top fucking 30, maybe? Like, pity me somewhere. But, hey, who knows, man? Maybe I am fully off and wrong, and I don't know anything. We will see when I play PvP if I get shit on with my LF Bardock. But what do you guys think of this Game Press tier list being updated? What do you disagree with? What do you agree with? I would think this is the biggest discrepancy on top of Mr. Yep, Hybrid right there. No, he's really good though, because there's like 5 yellows around him, right? So that makes him like crazy. Like, he's crazy because there's yellows around him, right? Yeah. That's the logic I think they follow. Let me know what you guys think of this update, and I'll see you guys in the next one, probably for the breakdown of Android 18, but we have a full game maintenance, like, everything maintenance, so, like, do all your stuff early. You know, it's probably going to happen, like, 2 or 3 hours after this video goes up. Do all your stuff early, get all your stuff done quickly, before, like, full game maintenance happens, so you don't miss anything. Like, USTR, reset sites, like, do that. But yeah, Android 18, breakdown later, whatever else comes, I don't think anything else is coming, but whatever else comes, that as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one.